All right, we're back here with Shango and Grizz, and we're coming close to the holidays, and I've been traveling all week, so I've been kind of out of the loop. I just found out who got the Pro Bowl last night, Grizz. That's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, not just who got there, the army of Cowboys that got there.
Boy, people are hot about that. I saw that already.
I know. I was actually a little bit shocked by that list too. I mean, not that I didn't think any of them were not deserving or playing great, but I just couldn't believe we got that many in.
Yeah, and I saw the thing about Greg Ellis taking his snub with Grace. I was like, geez, man, come on. How many people did you want?
It's kind of like with Greg Ellis, though. He was like, yeah, it's just like, every other year I play. He was kind of like, it seems like I never get respect kind of thing. So
yeah, Greg has had an amazing year rushing the passer, but I do think Briggs may be a better total linebacker this season or something like that. But I was just happy anyway.
I was happy to see MB3 get in there, man.
Me too. That was a shock. That was a good shock too. I was happy because he deserves it. He don't have the numbers like some other players like Clinton Portis maybe. But, I think if he was given the opportunity as much as Portis, he would have better numbers.
Oh, I think so, man. And I think it's kind of, the Pro Bowl's always been a little bit on reputation, and he's already getting that reputation of a guy you want to watch run the ball. People love to watch him run the ball.
Especially Cowboy fans when we don't run it
out. Right. We'd like to see it a little bit more.
Exactly. All right, let's go to the Carolina game. I noticed I had to get a chance to watch the game last week, but I noticed they're playing a little better ball this week. So what should we stop our boy from training camp, Matt Moore?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Moore everybody's talking about is he took care of the football. He didn't turn it over, didn't throw the interceptions, didn't fumble it in the pocket. Really didn't get sacked or, pressured that much. Showed a lot of poise and kind of took what was given to him. I mean, I saw some of the game when it was playing live, and they would go 3 and out on occasion, but he wasn't making mistakes. And somehow their defense rose to the occasion and held them in it. It would have been similar to our game against the Eagles, how our defense held this in until the last moment, where we were supposed to take over. Didn't happen for us, but for them, it worked out.
Yeah, well, during training camp, me and you both, we wasn't too impressed. I mean, Matt wasn't, blowing us away. But when he did get in the preseason game, he did play pretty well. So
yeah, I remember when we were watching him at camp, we were thinking, I mean, he looked okay. He looked really green, like he didn't quite, wasn't expecting the speed and the defenses and all of that. But he would complete some passes every once in a while. So
yeah,
looks like, he's one of those quick learners.
Yeah, functional quarterback. So, therefore, we need to get pressure on him. We need to meet him again like we did in the locker room.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with young, quarterbacks like this, it's always about getting pressure and mixing it up the defenses so that he gets a bad read and throws that interception.
So, if you agree, my thing is to make sure we stop Foster and D'Angelo Williams and make sure they have no running game to force Matt to make some throws and to win the game. If we get him in that position, I think we win. Easy.
Yeah, and the other thing I'd add on to that is just make sure that you don't let them quick strike us with Steve Smith or something like that. Force Moore to work down the field, shorter patterns to where somewhere along the way he'll make a mistake.
I guess this is a game that we needed my boy Aaron Glenn to cut
and we could also use a couple of safeties who aren't playing in the game. So now we're going to be really vulnerable in the middle of the field.
So I know Keith Davis is going to be starting, but who's going to take Pat's position? Is it going to be Ball? Oh, not Ball.
Courtney Brown.
Courtney Brown? Yeah. Now, that was my boy. And I'm calling one interception right now for Courtney Brown because he's a ball hawk. So somewhere in this game, he's going to get a pick if we force Matt Moore to throw.
Yeah, he's going to take over all of Watkins' dime duties and stuff like that. And Keith Davis is going to play all of Roy's spots. And Wade even said he'll move up to that linebacker position in and the dime defense, just like Roy used to do. So that's I guess what they're going to go with on Saturday.
That should be okay. I trust Keith Davis. I'm telling you where we're going to miss Pat Watkins the most. And I don't know if people noticed, but he's been a killer on special teams. And that's how he hurt himself, giving himself 100% on special teams.
Yeah. I mean, when he came out of Florida State, that was one thing we always heard about him is he was just a excellent gunner on punt coverage.
Yeah.
Could play all the special teams that you wanted. It's proven true, man. I mean, in some ways, I'd have to say he's probably playing better special teams than even Keith Davis is,
exactly.
Right now. Even
you see him down there, first on. All right, to beat this defense, I've got one thing to say. I think we should give the ball to Julius Jones all day long. He kills the Panthers.
He's the Panther killer.
If he's going to do anything for us all year, this is the game he needs to do it.
Yeah. Well, whether they give it to Julius or MB3, just give it to a running back. I mean, that abandoning of the run game was just not a smart move. We can't do that 2 weeks in a row. Start going into the playoffs, falling in love with our passing game. I mean, we know it's a strength. Don't get me wrong. We got to use it. But come on, we got a couple of backs back there. Let's let them run the ball a little bit.
And then a running game is something you have to work on. You can't abandon it and then come back to it and think it's going to be like it was before. You have to work on it. You have to get in rhythm. You have to have your court. It's kind of like I'm a Madden freak. It's kind of like playing Madden. When you stop playing for a while and try to run the ball again, you can't get any yards because you got to see that vision. You've got to get yourself back in that rhythm. So they need to do that.
Yeah, and it also helps if you're wearing down the defense all game so that when the fourth quarter comes along, you just mow right over them. We didn't have that, last week at all.
Exactly. So you have any other words of wisdom for the game, or are you just waiting to see how this pans out?
Well, as bad as our safety position is right now, I mean, in terms of inexperience and players who don't usually play, the Panthers don't have any safeties either. So Witten should kill them over the middle, and I'd love to see them get, T.O. and maybe Terry Glenn if he plays, some post routes right down the middle on those safeties.
What was the last word on Terry Glenn?
It sounded like Wade was a little less believing that he was going to play this week when he had his press conference yesterday. He ran some 7-on-7, didn't do team, and just the things that Wade said and the way his voice was, you could kind of get the sense that he probably won't play, although he still maybe.
I think this is a game we need to see something from him because I know if we win this game, the Washington game will be, maybe we'll go all out if Green Bay wins, and we have to win that game. But if something happens with Green Bay, then we're going to pull a lot of starters, and it's not going to be a good game.
We definitely will. What I would just want Terry Glenn to get a little bit of work in before the playoffs show up.
Exactly. I don't want to be inserted in the offense on a crucial playoff game, and it may mess up something.
Right.
So that's the thing. All right. Well, I guess we'll talk after the game. Probably on Monday like normal. Let's plan to do it on Monday like normal. And everyone have a Merry Christmas or get out there and start shopping or do like me and shop online and leave those crazies alone. Yeah,
although I still got a little bit to go, so I have to, got to go brave the crowds once more. But happy holidays, everybody.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
Peace.